What? Bang!
Pro Wrestling Podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep, screw, rep.
Yeah.
Woo!
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it? Unbelievable.
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for...
It's me, Austin. I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Hey, are you sick and tired of dropping far too much money every single year on the latest and greatest wrestling video game? Stop immediately. Go to app.wrestlerunstoppable.com where you'll find the game Wrestler Unstoppable available totally free, where you can create a wrestlers, sign contracts, get into storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available totally free right now. Go to app.wrestlerunstoppable.com. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, you want your name in the shoutouts like my good buddy John down in Texas, then you got to pop over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. We've got loyalty rewards, $15 a month contributors get to co-host with me, $7.50 a month get entered into a drawing to also co-host an episode with myself. Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Fro. I want to welcome you to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you've got questions, comments, something you want me to touch on in a future episode, the best way to let me know that is to pop over to the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line. Give me a call at 267-642-1160. It's a talk-to-text service. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and I will get to those in a future episode. Tonight, jumping straight in, the big news breaking this morning on the Pat McAfee Show, Brock Lesnar has officially retired from WWE, making that announcement in what I can only describe as one of the most beautiful parts of his entire career. He was so humble, so selfless. He really wanted to thank the fans, everybody who's been a part of his career. And, you know, he was very candid about what he plans to do. He's got young sons who are involved in hockey. His daughter is shooting for the 2028 Olympics. Wants to do a lot of hunting and, you know, enjoy the fruits of his labor. And who could blame the guy? He's 49 years old. He gave it everything he's had for all this time. What an incredible influence on the business. I think oftentimes overlooked in terms of being a performer. I think he's overlooked in terms of how he's able to work with pretty much anybody. And I really hope that when we look backwards at the greatest wrestlers of all time, when we think about a Mount Rushmore, Brock Lesnar's name may now start being considered for part of that conversation. And I know there's going to be people who argue things like he was never great on the stick, or he, you know, never cut a great promo, or all he ever did was suplexes. It's really not true. Take a look at his earlier stuff. The guy could have done a lot more, but people like Vince McMahon, Triple H, they don't want him doing all that stuff. They wanted him to be a monster. So they got rid of, over time, all the things he could do and kind of defaulted to the power stuff that he does now. You can't fault him for that. I think the guy's incredible. I've been a fan my entire life, you know, as long as he's been in wrestling. And I get it. There's some question marks about some character flaws there. The fact that he got his wife Sable by, you know, sneaking around while she was still with Mark Merrow and things like that. And then also, you know, the conversation about the Janelle Grant stuff. That's another conversation piece. But, you know, show me an innocent person who's never done anything wrong in their lifetime, and I'll show you somebody who's lying about it, because everybody has their flaws. I'm not justifying anything. I'm not passing judgment either. I think that's something between him and his priest, and that's not for me to judge. That being said, thrilled to see him close out his career the way he wanted to. He was very humble, giving credit to Oba Femi. And WWE was quick to jump on it. They moved him over to the alumni section of WWE.com. So, sounds like it's official. I know reports came out yesterday. They expect him to be in Saudi Arabia. Maybe he comes back for a one-off because, like AJ Styles said, everybody gets one more match after they retire normally, and stuff like that. So maybe we see him one more time, but I think I've either seen the end or will only have one more match left in the career of Brock Lesnar. And congratulations to him on a great career. Somebody I can't congratulate, Too Cold Scorpio. In the news today, back in June 2024, had an altercation with somebody at a store that he was working as a security guard for. He has been charged and pled guilty to second-degree assault with armed criminal action. Apparently, there was a situation where this guy got unruly in some way, shape, or form. At least that's the claim. And Scorpio ended up getting a knife, and this guy he was going against came out with like stabbings and slicing and everything all over his body. I'm not going to go into details, but Scorpio pleading guilty. Curious to see what they do to him in terms of a sentence, but not good for the former ECW World Television Champion, the former Flash Funk in WWE. Definitely has had better times and is now going through the legal process of many other issues. Mara Sade, TNA knockout, who left the company a couple days ago, formerly Jakara Jackson in NXT. The word is she's headed to AEW, that she already has that destination planned out, yet it's going to be a much better fit for her. And you know what? Good for her. I thought when she was Jakara Jackson, she was a solid contributor in NXT. I really was shocked that WWE released her. Her and Last Legend, solid in the ring, great pairing. And instead, she is moving on for the second time in as many years to her next destination. Hopefully, she really carves her path in AEW and can do some great things. Speaking of AEW, the AEW Continental Cup was announced, and I have a problem with this because you already had the Continental Classic, which become an annual tradition for World's End at the end of every year, and now we're going to throw in the Continental Cup. So you're going to have all these competitors compete in these random draw matches. Then next round, it's almost like a shuffle seeding tournament. They random draw again and random draw again until they get to a championship, and whoever wins will be the new Continental Champion. Except that belt typically is what's defended during the Continental Classic. So are we getting a defense at both? And throw in the conversation of the fact that you can lose the Continental Championship at any point in time just simply by defending it in a one-on-one match. The championship belt itself is very, very confusing. This is convoluted booking. It's not necessary. And for whatever reason, Tony Khan has found a way to make this what could have been a really cool championship if they kept it with just the Continental Classic and made it something that is almost inexplicable. It's too hard to keep up with. And you kind of crapped all over your World's End pay-per-view by taking and making this Continental Cup. Why? Were you upset that people thought that your Continental Classic was a knockoff of the G1 Climax? Because it was. But who cares if they are? Most American fans don't even know what that is. So unless you're a diehard like you guys for listening to a show like this, you don't even know what the G1 Climax is for some people. So whether it was a knockoff or not, it was successful. It was something people really got into. We got to see great matches, great pairings, things we've never seen before. Was it just too hard for Tony to book? I don't know. But yeah, we're going to get a Continental Cup where somebody's going to win a cup and the championship and all this. Really strange booking. MLW, talk about strange booking, booked their shows in their June tapings at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, close to where I'm at. And now they've moved their next set of tapings to Atlanta because there's a dispute with the 2300 Arena, which is not the first time this has happened. It's happened back in the Sinclair days of Ring of Honor, happened with New Japan Pro Wrestling, where 2300 Arena manages their own ticket sales and processing. And then the companies that go there are supposed to get a payout within days of the show for ticket revenue. And apparently MLW still hasn't been paid. And that's problematic because that's how it works. You sell tickets, you get paid, and they haven't been paid yet. And now word is they're going to be seeking legal advice on how to press formal charges against the company to recuperate the money that they were supposed to get. Good for them. Do that. And I love the 2300 Arena, but let's be honest. We make a contract with somebody, you live up to the contract. Hanging on to the cash for extra days is kind of ludicrous. It's just my opinion. And this didn't have to get this ugly. if the 2300 Arena just did what they're supposed to do, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. Hopefully they get this squared away, because I would love to see MLW back in the venue, but at this point I don't see that happening because of something like this. We spoke a few seconds ago about the G1 Climax, whether or not the Continental Classic is a ripoff. Let's give you an update on the current G1 Climax. And let's be honest, if you don't know what the G1 Climax is, it's a round-robin tournament with 2 blocks, an A block and a B block, and there's multiple wrestlers in each block, and wins get so many points, draws get so many points, losses get 0 points, and the highest point getters in Block A and Block B will face off in a final match to determine who wins the G1 Climax, and thereby gets an opportunity to challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in New Japan Pro Wrestling, oftentimes, but not always, but oftentimes at Wrestle Kingdom at the end of every year, beginning of the new year. This year, if you ask me who's going to be competing in the finals, I'm really torn on this, because right now, Block A, Konosuke Takeshita has 10 points leading the block, followed closely by Yota Tsuji and Oleg Boltin, both with 8 points. So you can see that that one's kind of up in the air between those three. After that, the points drop off. Even people like Zack Sabre Jr. only has 4 points. So, you know, that bracket, the A block, you would suspect either it's going to be Takeshita, Tsuji, or Boltin come out of it. I guess some things could change in the next couple days, but I don't anticipate that. It's when you get to the B block that it gets a little crazy. Gabe Kidd has 10 points, just like Takeshita. So right now, Gabe Kidd is leading the block. However, behind him, Henare, Callum Newman, Ren Narita, Oscar, and Drilla Maloney all have 8 points. And it just occurred to me as I'm thinking about that, that means Gabe Kidd and Drilla Maloney are in the same bracket, which means they have to face each other, and they're both War Dogs. I would love to see that match. But those other 5 names, as I said, Henare, Newman, Narita, Oscar, and Maloney all have 8 points, just like Tsuji and Boltin. So in the B block, I don't have the first clue who's going to come out of that winning that block, because you literally have 6 guys all within 2 points. So it could go any direction at this point. Now, who would I like to see win? Takeshita was a factor last year, so I don't really want to see him go back right away. Boltin is an interesting one. Homegrown talent, basically, for New Japan. Gabe Kidd is the biggest talker. He's probably the best on the mic. Callum Newman, former IWGP champion, if they want to put him back in the championship picture, that's a possibility. Do they want to promote somebody new like Drilla Maloney and get him into the world championship picture? I'm not sure. And if you ask me to pick this right now, I would argue that Yota Tsuji is probably going to win Block A. That's my guess. And if I had to guess one right now, I think I would actually go with Ren Narita for Block B, and then with having Ren Narita win the whole thing. It's too early, obviously, to tell. Still, that's only after 11 days of the tournament. There's still many days to come. We'll have to keep our eye on it, but the G1 Climax, very competitive, especially Block B this year, and is putting on some phenomenal matches. And the last thing I have to get to tonight is on a more somber note. For those who are longtime wrestling fans, you're going to know right away what I'm talking about. The sad passing at 85 years old of one of the most legendary and iconic members of the wrestling community, Dory Funk Jr., the brother of Terry Funk, who passed away a short time ago. At the age of 85, Dory Funk Jr.'s legacy is one that is indescribable. His passing was announced by his wife, Marty Funk. He was in hospice care. This man has done so much for the business. Started wrestling, I believe it was like 1963, with Dory Funk Sr. In Dory Funk Sr.'s promotion, which I forget where it was located. I apologize, but he grew through the ranks. He went through all the territories. You name a company from, the 60s, 70s, and 80s, he's been there. Whether it was the AWA, WWE, WCW, ECW, he's been everywhere. Spent a significant amount of time in Japan, where he became an absolute legend for All Japan Pro Wrestling. Even wrestled a match in his 80s. Like, think about that for a minute. This guy has always given back to the business. And that's the stuff most people talk about, his wrestling accolades, winning the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and holding it for 4.5 years, the second longest reign in NWA Championship history. That's phenomenal in and of itself. The fact that he and Terry Funk, the first brothers to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, also a cool stat. But the thing that a lot of people don't talk about and really need to is he ran the Funkin' Conservatory. The Funkin' Conservatory was his training center where people like Lita went through, Kurt Angle went through, Mark Henry spent time there. So many talents that have done so many talents who've done so much in the industry have gone through the conservatory. And if in full transparency, I still have the email because it meant so much to me. I even reached out to them way back in early 2000s, thinking about going there for training myself. Wish I had. Looking back at it, it's a big regret of mine that I never went and got training through the guy. He's trained so many talents and was still training people until very recently. Did an appearance on Saturday Night's Main Event when they debuted on, or maybe it was the first Raw on Netflix. I forget which one it was. Always stayed close to the wrestling community. Always was a contributor. If you ever met him at a convention or something like that, the man was just always willing to share memories and knowledge and insight. Just an incredible human being. So sad to see him go. Definitely had a fulfilling life. My heart goes out to Marty, who's just, gosh, she's been with him through the whole ride. What a great couple. What a great contributors to the pro wrestling business. Sad day for all the fans of the Funk family. What a legend. What a loss. And tonight's one of those nights where we just say a prayer for Dory Funk Jr. May he rest in peace. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. We run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks, as always, goes out to Suno, who creates the sound effects that I use in our show. Sponsorship-wise, gotta go there. We got 3 different games we're promoting right now. Beezle Games gives you Sketchy People, which is kind of like a cross between Chutes and Ladders and Pictionary. Check it out if you want to bring a new friend to family game night. It's easy. Pick up some Sketchy People for your family. If you want to try something a little different, Doodle Games has a game called Banani Market where you compete in your shopping skills throughout the supermarket. And if you want to just do something where you're cruising around the cosmos, collecting what you need to go to the final battle, grab a copy of Legendary Elements. All 3 games, by the way, Legendary Elements by Freddie Foo Games. All 3 games available at thegamecrafter.com right now. You should grab a copy. Fun and entertainment. I grabbed a copy of all 3. So I'm not somebody who's just promoting something that somebody paid me to promote. In full transparency, I'm not getting paid at all. I do this because I believe in helping, smaller individuals, make their way up. I got a copy of all 3. Had a blast with all 3. They're all 3 phenomenal games. Check them out. Again, Sketchy People, Banani Market, Legendary Elements. You should go grab a copy of 1, 2, or all 3 for your family. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college, university life, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to my website, frolifeplanning.com, for all your higher education needs. If maybe you just need some formal training, maybe you're not sure what you want to do, I will help you get there. I will help you find your path to let you have that next career that you're looking for. Fro Life Educational Planning. It's for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking some time with us tonight. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great one.